Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Saturday Zoom.
Good morning, everyone. Glad you're all with us today.
Saturday morning, we make it again. Yeah, we weren't quite sure what to talk about because nobody gave us any help. And sorry. I gotta fix that.
Good morning, everyone.
We're hearing ourselves all over again. Yeah, so I was having some real brain issues this week, and my daughter says, why don't you talk about brain issues? But I don't know if that was before or after that happened. So we're going to talk about brain and just how to keep it healthy and vital and working. I worry mostly about memory a lot of times. Like, I feel like I've always been a person who kind of lives in the moment, and I experience things, but probably not mindfully enough because I don't have really strong memories. They can be brought back by somebody, reminding me of something. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. But like, I don't feel like I have that memory to bring things back in a lot of detail. So that's one thing I want to work on, my brain health and word recall. That's, we were just trying to think of scavenger hunt. That didn't work.
Oh, well.
I forgot to turn on my lights today. Okay. So that's where we're going to go today. But first, what's in your diffusers?
Mary, what do you have going this morning?
Same old. I just love orange and cinnamon that I say I should do something different, and then I put orange and cinnamon in it.
But orange is also good for your brain. All the citrus oils are good.
Oh, that's good.
Cinnamon is very
and cinnamon, yeah,
energetic and stimulating. So you got a good combo. You might as well stick with it,
So stick with it because it helps a lot of things.
I'm a creature of habit. What can I say?
And
That's
Kathy
okay.
already
So
told me that she has, but I want her to tell me again because I didn't write it down the first time. And the way she described it, it sounds wonderful.
It smells wonderful too. I have it in my diffuser right here. Oh, it smells so good. I used 3 drops of rosemary, 2 drops of peppermint, 2 drops of sage, and 2 drops of, I used the eucalyptus globulus this morning in there. But I suppose you can use eucalyptus radiata as well. But it smells wonderful. And all of those are supposed to be good for stimulating your brain, concentration, focus, all those things. All those oils have, either alone or combined together. So I thought I'd try it combined together, and I love it.
We had the same idea because I went looking for, essential oils for brain stimulation, brain health. And I found a study that's on sciencedirect.com. And they talked about lavender and rosemary, but they talked about them separately. And they had a control group in the Ukraine. They did the study and they had 3 groups. They had a control group. They had a group that they diffused lavender in and a group that they diffused rosemary in. And basically what they found, that both the lavender and the rosemary groups outperformed the control group. And the rosemary and the lavender have significantly increase the image memory compared to the control. And inhalation of rosemary essential oil increased the memorization of numbers, but lavender did not. Lavender actually weakened that process. But I thought that was kind of an interesting thing that they're actually doing studies to find out about how effective essential oils are for whatever purpose. And so I put in equal drops of lavender and rosemary, and it smells divine. And when I walked back into my office, because generally I get up in the morning and I I set it up knowing I'm going to come in here and do the Zoom. I set it up so that it'll be aromatic when I get back. So I came back in after it had been going for like 40 minutes. It just smelled so good. And I felt it like, I don't know, just assault my senses. It was just great. So Rosemary's one and yours too. And I think that's a great one. It's just powerful. So anyway, so we're talking about brain health today, and it started because we talked about ways we were thinking about ways to improve your brain health as you age. And a lot of people say, oh, you should, do crossword puzzles. And that is one part of it, but that's only one small part. So I'm going to let you talk about, Kathy, what you found out about brain health and keeping it supple and ready to go.
So as we know, our lifestyle has an effect on our overall brain health.
Everything.
Everything. What we eat, how we exercise, how well you get, if you're getting a good night's sleep, how you react with stress or manage stress. So all those things are important for our brain health. Well, Cleveland Clinic came up with 6 pillars of brain health. And I know we've talked about all these things in our past Saturday Zooms, but now we have Cleveland Clinic telling us these things that are, will help with brain health. Number 1, our physical exercise, right? We got to get our body moving. If you get your body moving, it gets your blood flowing and you're getting oxygenated blood to your brain, right? So that's a good thing. Our food and nutrition, what are we eating? Are we eating all the bad saturated fats or unsaturated fats? Are we supplying, good omega-3s for brain health? So you want to stay away from everything that's going to, as we mentioned in the past, that will affect our brain negatively. Just kind of moving through these here. Also, our medical health is one of the pillars too, as well. So we have to control our medical risks like hypertension, diabetes, obesity, depression, head traumas, higher cholesterol levels. If you're smoking, those are all risks of dementia or to have dementia. So you have to either control these risks or try to reduce them as much as possible. Number 4, I'm sorry. Are you sleeping good through the night? Are you getting that restful sleep that you need? We all need 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So you want to make sure you're sleeping well. Is your room cool enough or warm enough or whatever gives you that good restful night's sleep.
I think there's a lot of people who don't really believe that so much. They think, oh, I got enough sleep, and they keep getting up and keep going and keep running their bodies without understanding how much it does affect them. And then other health issues come up. So I think that's really an important thing, is getting the right amount of sleep, not too much and not too little.
Right, because sleep does help to improve your mood and your immune system. As again, we talked about the immune system in the past, and that was one of the things that we brought up about that. So it helps to reduce so many, things associated with Alzheimer's disease. And, and also if you're not getting that good night's sleep, Linda, you had talked about meditation. Meditation will help you as well, to reduce those stress levels and help you, help with your brain. Mental fitness. Are you using your mind? Are you, exercising your mind, which Linda will talk about in a little bit, with different games to help stimulate memory or, just to help the cell growth in your brain as well. And then just connecting with other people, social interactions. So we all need that. I think that, if we are connecting with other people and talking to them, it helps us to stay focused on what they're doing. So that's kind of like I don't know, almost like a exercise in itself for your brain, but you're concentrating on them, they're concentrating on you, and you're having a good conversation with them. And just being with your family and friends, it puts you in a good mood. It's going to help with your brain. So we also have 12 ways to keep your brain young. And we already mentioned about mental stimulation, getting our physical exercise, improving our diet with good nutrition. So and if you are having any medical issues, such as your blood pressure, you want to improve your blood pressure, improve your blood sugar levels, improve your cholesterol levels, LDL, which is the bad cholesterol. You want to try and reduce that, and you want to increase your HDL levels. And you can do that with a lot of different ways. Exercise will help increase your HDL level, as well as different foods with omega-3s in it, the good fatty acids in it. Also here it talks about consider a low dose of aspirin, but you need to talk to your physician about that. Avoid tobacco use. Don't abuse alcohol. And again, care for your emotions. So I don't know. Again, I think a lot of that also relates to talking with people and I don't know, just having someone to
Bounce things off of.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that helps our brain as well. And of course, we want to try to avoid any type of head injuries, because that head injuries could have, moderate to severe head injuries could cause a lot of problems with your memory, and you don't want to end up with concussions, and also protect your brain. And again, it says build a social network.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about that before with blue zones and how they live and they share food and drink together, but and they socialize, that all of that's so important. Yeah, a lot of these things that you just said are all things that we've been talking about for a long, long time in isolation. And, I think some people might hear this in the past of what we're saying. They're like, and out of sight, out of mind sometimes plays in, like, I don't know how my heart is doing because I can't see that unless you get that new app. What is that? I keep seeing it advertised for, to be able to, but I do have an app for my heartbeat. So I know what my heart rate is doing when I'm exercising, but anyway, like, I don't know what my heart health is. I don't know what my arteries look like, right? I don't know what my lungs look like. I imagine that they're okay because I haven't smoked, but when we're talking about the brain, I think the ramifications of not taking care of your brain show up a little bit more strongly, and that people react to that and like, whoa, now what's the matter when I get this brain fog, or maybe a little stronger than that people say, wow, there's something wrong with my brain. I got to pay attention. And all of the things that we do to take care of our brain are all the things that we do to take care of our bodies, and what we've all talked about. But maybe when you touch on the brain, maybe it sinks in more for people. I don't know.
But also, with our brain is obviously controls our nervous system and the rest of our body. So if you don't have good brain health, that's going to affect everything. And I'm not just talking about, putting pressure on the nervous system, but if you're not good up here, then how are you taking care of the rest of you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's all connected, because if you are taking care of the rest of you, it also helps up here, right?
We are a whole package, right?
Exactly.
You can't just focus on one thing, which is like athletes who work out and take care of their physical bodies, but then they go out and they binge drink, in an evening, and do so much harm, or people who just don't look at the quality of their food and they eat junk food, those people who don't get any exercise at all. Everything is related and everything has to work together in order for everything to function.
Right, because
But
if you're eating junk food, there may be a lot of sugar in there, a lot of bad fats, and it's going to cause inflammation in your body, including your brain.
Mhm. Yeah, I feel like if we started with that with kids, not just telling them what to do and what to eat and what not to eat but if we educate people from an earlier age and show them the ramifications of not following a good diet, not exercising, not challenging your brain, whatever it is, I think we'd have stronger human beings, but instead we tell kids what to do. And what do? They get to their teens and then you can't tell me what to do. They rebel and they do everything they can to undermine us. Eventually, hopefully they come out of it. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But, I think there needs to be more emphasis on your physical body and understanding all the ins and outs of it. Like when I taught my gifted and talented kids and fourth graders always learned about the body systems, they were amazed at how our bodies worked. And we use that, and so they also thought it was kind of disgusting, some of the body functions, but, they created an interest in taking care of themselves because they started to learn about that. I think that's what we need to do with kids and not underestimate their ability to learn. That's another topic for another day. But even like with the idea of sending kids to preschool, they're like, they're too young. No, that's the age where they're like sponges and they start to grab everything. I think if a kid is capable of learning, you teach, you show them the world. I'm off my soapbox now. So I want to go back and hit on one of the things that you said, which is number one on the second list that you said, and number 5 on the first list. So it appeared on both lists, and it's about mental stimulation. So we actually have to work our brains. We have to exercise our brains. We can't just go through life and unless you're, a professional student, a scientist, or somebody who is constantly pulling information in, accommodating that new information with trying to figure out its place in the world and questioning and all of that. I think the average person probably doesn't engage in that. I think once we leave college, a lot of times we stop thinking at that level. And depending on what our work job is, we like to feel comfortable. And so we get to a point where I know my job and I'm just going to keep doing my job the way I do it, which is great for certain professions. But what if you were a doctor? Would you want your doctor to stop learning and stay, right in that spot and not challenge themselves and to learn more? So again, for the average person, I think we don't put out that mental stimulation as we did when we were younger. And so the theory is that, you lose your brain cells as you get older and you stop having that ability to think and learn and problem solve, which is a total fallacy. It all goes down to all of those things that you just told us about, Kathy, in taking care of your overall health. And that's going to take care of your mental health as well. Sorry. I didn't do any research on Alzheimer's today, but I'm pretty sure that there is some information out there that can support food choices and things like that. But I'm not going to go into that because I can't speak to that right now. I remember seeing some stuff about that, but anyway, so we want to talk about mental stimulation, which is giving your brain opportunities to think and to problem solve. And so I looked at a bunch of different things this week, and on the top of the list, and Mary, I want you to jump in here because you are a game player. You like to play games, you play cards, you play all kinds of stuff. And that's a great thing to be doing for you. Especially if you can do it in a group and you're bouncing off ideas off of somebody else or challenging. I'm very competitive. So if you get me in a competition, I want to win. But there's also things that you can do on your own and by yourself. So top of the list is crossword puzzles. And the thing about crossword puzzles, though, is that if it's too easy, if you can sit down and finish a whole crossword puzzle in, I don't know, 30, 40, 60 minutes, it's probably too easy for you. And therefore it is not challenging you. So you really have to be careful that if you are relying solely on crossword puzzles and you're too good at them, you're not getting mental stimulation. So Sudoku, anybody ever play Sudoku? The number game. I have an example here, and I found, wait, I went to the example without sharing my screen. Okay, here we go. This is on Smithsonian Magazine. It's www.smithsonianmag.com. And it says /games, daily Sudoku. I just searched for online Sudoku. And so you can choose your level. And for me, I did one last night that was easy, and it was easy. And the thing about this one, which you may or may not like, and I don't know if it changes if you, Red Bryce, I don't know if it changes if you pick a higher level, but it will tell you when you're wrong, which I like. So the idea is to put numbers 1 through 9 in each of the different squares so that you have only one of each number within your 3x3 array, but also that you only have one of each number in every column and every row. So if I'm trying to figure out what goes here, I can't use 5, 1, 7, or 3. I've already got a 2 and a 3. So that eliminates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It can be a 6 or an 8 or a 9. Okay. So now I have to figure out, what am I going to put there? Am I going to put, what did I say? 6, 8, or 9? So if I put my 6 in there, it's white. 6 isn't right. Okay. So if I put 9 in there, not right. If I put 8 in there, oh, it turned green. Finally, I got to the right one. Now, Sudoku is not intended for you to keep guessing. It's to figure things out. So if I were to, the way you do it is you have to really look at each row and each column and each section. And it took me 5 minutes to solve a problem last night on the easy level, but I thought this is a great place to start and it's kind of fun. I used to get really bored with this, and then I decided to let it go, but I might get back into it because I found it to be a little bit challenging and I can work up to higher levels. I just felt like every Sudoku puzzle has the same outcome, the same, the idea is to place your numbers 1 through 9, right? And so that activity kind of got old for me, but I haven't done it in so long that I think I might go back and do it. So
I always, when I'm flying somewhere, if it's over an hour flight, I'll always bring a book with me, a Sudoku book, and I'll do a few of the easy ones, then I'll move to the medium ones. And then when I get to the hard ones, I get a little frustrated.
yeah.
Because
they don't, it feels like they don't give you enough information, but you also are given less information.
Right.
So there's several ways it can go. And there's usually only 1 or 2 things that's going to help you pinpoint which,
Mhm.
what number is correct. Like this one here, look how many there are here. 1, 2, 4, 5. So you're only missing what? 3, 6,
3,
and
6,
9.
9.
And so I know, okay, so 3, 6, and 9 could go anywhere, but I can't put my 9 here. So I know it has
Well,
to
your
be a 3 or a 6, right?
Can't put your 6 there.
And I can't put my 6 there. So I know it has to be a 3. And then the 6 and the 9, I know it can't be 6 here because there's a 6 down here. So I can put in my 9 and put in my 6 here. And I finished one section. Okay. So anyway, you can get engaged with that. Paper and pencil, do it in pencil because you're going to make mistakes. You're going to get erased. But this one is a helper. I think there's other ones out there. This one really helps you because it tells you when you're wrong. Which is a good place to start, I guess, if you're just beginning. So that was one thing I found with Sudoku, and I have a paper and pencil one somewhere around here. I don't know what I did with it because like I said, I got bored with it. It was several years ago. Everybody was doing it. It was all the rage in school. The next thing on the list is card games. And Mary, you have a card game every Saturday. What kind of game is that? What do you play?
Called Samba.
Samba?
Samba.
What's the goal? What do you have to
It's a canasta type game.
Okay.
You have to get plus you have to get from 2 to ace in one suit, and then 4 to ace in another suit, and then 7 in the other 2 suits. 7 of a string of 7.
Wow.
And then you have to watch the other team and see what they're missing. So you can't throw anything down that they might need. So it uses your brain because you have to figure, and I can't throw this out and I need this, and
right.
And then you need all these other things like 7 wiles and 7 sevens and 3 sets of 7s, which are totally, like 7 5s or 6 or 8s, which don't have any wiles. And then
you're
need
blowing my mind just with the explanation. I'm like, how do you follow all of that
to remember?
That's so much more than gin rummy.
Yes. And there's 4 or 5 different variations of the game. So depending on which variation you're playing, the rules are different. So it gets to be a little crazy.
Now, how many people do you play with it on any given day? And do you play on a team or do you play individually?
You play on a team.
Okay.
There's 4 people, 2 people on each team.
Okay.
But you can't talk to your teammate.
Right.
You can give them hints by, let's say you have 2 4 of hearts or something. You could throw out a 4 of hearts, and then your teammate assumes you have another 4 of hearts. So she knows if she has the 5 and 6 and 7 or whatever, that she could put some of them down, and you could put the 4 down. And
gotcha.
That's the only way.
In combination, all those things that you said you have to set up has to be in combination with your partner. Yeah. How many decks of cards do you use? 7 decks of cards. Wow. That's cool.
That's way too many for me.
That sounds like fun, but I would be like,
it does.
Yeah.
It is.
I'm
Did
sure
you
there's
ever
a learning
play hand
curve.
and foot?
No, I'm not a big card player unless it's poker. And then even then I'm not really good. I mean, we played a lot of those kind of games, or gin rummy.
Yeah.
52 pickup. I'm good at that one.
Solitaire.
I love cards. My mother loved cards, and she put it in all of our heads.
Yeah.
Well, not all of us, because some of my sister's not a card player, but I absolutely adore playing cards.
Yeah.
I could play cards all the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
not
great.
all the time. But
Card games are a good source of mental stimulation, as you have just shown us. Other games is bridge. So they're talking about games that demand memory, strategy, and attentiveness. Sounds like your game is like that too. Bridge also teaches logic, reasoning, quick thinking, patience, concentration, and partnership skills. And there's also that valuable social component to the game when you're playing with more than one person, right? Go Fish. It says card games don't have to be as complex as Bridge to help with mental acuity. Even simple card games like Go Fish help exercise the brain. That's more my level. Gin Rummy, poker, blackjack, and even a game of solitaire can be a good brain game. However, card games that involve others also promote the socialization, and the interaction is known to help promote brain health, as we heard earlier. Other games that are really good for mental stimulation is Jigsaw puzzles, the shopping game. Okay, so this shopping game is I don't know if I would trust myself to play this game, because basically it's whatever you're going to the grocery store for, you don't write it down. Like maybe you do start to write it down, but the idea is to memorize it using other clues. And I didn't go into that a little bit because that one sounded like, oh my gosh, just to figure out how to play this. But you give yourself clues as to what is on your list so that you can memorize it. And then you get to the store and you start bringing up your clues and your cues to help you remember what it is you wanted. So I guess that might work if you start to create that list and create the cues from an early time. And then, because how many times have we forgotten our list at the grocery store? I do it all the time, right? Or if I'm out with another errand and I say, oh, let me just stop at the store so I don't have to go out again. What was on my list, right? So maybe if you start making those mental cues as you start creating the list, I don't know, maybe it'll help.
It's almost like you have to actually think through it too, or almost like act it out. When I was in college, and I was in my first year, and they took the first year psychology class, and we were like guinea pigs for testing for upper levels of psychology students. And they had one thing where, they took us through 10 different things. They read out 10 sentences to us and gave us one of the words in the sentence that was the main thing at the end. So, when you do that, you first just listen to it or read it over, turn it over and try to repeat it back. You're lucky if you get 50%, or most people might get 50%. Well, then they had you act out the sentence and say the word at the end that they wanted you to remember. So then after I did that, I think I got all of them right, all and was able to repeat the entire sentence and then tell them the key word at the end of it. But that was because I acted it out. So your memory is, you're doing it, the old doing, saying, seeing thing, students at school, what type of learner are you? Like, how do you retain things the best?
Right.
And mine, for that setting was I had to act it out in order to recall the whole sentence.
Absolutely. And again, going to what type of learner you are, when you are multimodal in your approach to learning or teaching or whatever it is, and you have multiple ways, not just, reading from a book or hearing something, but involving more than one sense and also involving your body, as you did with the acting out, that helps you retain those memories even stronger. It's kind of like I've seen, I don't know, I don't know if I've seen this on TV or whatever, but people who always know other people's names, even when they've just been introduced, because they play a game like this and they connect that person to something that's going to help them remember their name,
Right.
whatever it is. Kathy, she's very chatty Kathy. I'm going to get that, no. You're not very chatty.
To call me.
You are an intelligent speaker, but little games like that to help people remember the names, something you can do too, right? The Suitcase Game, that's one where I guess you could play by yourself, but it's more challenging to play with someone else or a group of people. That's like, I'm going on a trip and I'm going to bring a an atlas. I'm going on a trip and I'm going to bring an atlas and a
Book.
book. Yeah. And you keep adding on. We played that in school. I mean, we played it. I used to teach that in improv as one of the games, just because it helps people focus and bring people together. Concentration, that game where you have the cards and you lift one and you're trying to find the match, and
I
then
love that
you
game.
don't find it, and then you have to go find the other one. And I'm terrible at that game. The Trey Game. How would you like to play the Trey Game? Trey Game is, I'm going to show you a tray of items, and you're not supposed to write anything down. You're supposed to just look at it for like 30 seconds or so and try to memorize as many things on that tray. It's also called Kim's Game. It was an English Girl Scout game a long time ago, Girl Guides. And so I'm going to show it to you for 30 seconds, and you're going to try to see how many things you can remember after I close it off. And I'm not going to play because I've already seen it. So that would be unfair advantage. All right, let me see if I can figure out where I put it. There it is. Okay, I'm going to bring that up. Okay, now I got to come back to you. I got to find my share button. So there we go. Are you ready?
No.
I'm going to count 30 seconds. Can you see it?
It's going like.
All right, I think that was a little bit more, but how about we go back and forth? Kathy, tell me something.
Rubber band.
Okay.
Pork, I think.
Okay.
Garlic.
What was that?
Garlic.
Oh, garlic. Yeah.
A book, cardboard box of matches.
Okay.
Flowers. Little daisies.
Okay. I
There was a
I should
pen.
be looking at it again. Let's see.
There's a little fuzzy head thing with little eyes on it, a red one.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was.
I don't know what to call it.
And a little red thing in the corner.
Well, oh, and there is that, what was the squeezy toy? There's a little squeezy toy. I don't know what to call it, but there was a squeezy toy.
There's a
Okay.
pen and a pencil and a bracelet
And a candle.
and a teacup, tea candle.
Yeah, tea candle. Trying to think what was on the right. There's a pencil.
There's a pencil, I think.
Yeah. Garlic.
There was this little yellow thing.
Yeah,
don't know
well,
what
in
it
a
was.
row. Whatever, they look like little candies or little erasers.
Yeah, a little yellow thing. It was an iguana or a little,
Oh, okay. Well, they were all lined up and one was flipped.
yeah, I don't know what that was
I
either.
think there are only 3 things, and
That we're
maybe
missing?
2 that I haven't. 3 things that you haven't said.
Okay.
We haven't said.
Yeah.
Is there a paper clip?
No paper clip.
No
Eh.
paper-
All right, I'll share it again so you can see. And I
Okay.
think I know which you didn't have.
Screwdriver.
I didn't hear the screwdriver
Penny.
and the penny. And I didn't think I heard the scissors, but
And the
maybe I,
scissors. Yep.
and
the
that's,
big
look how
scissors.
big the scissors are.
I know,
Isn't that
laying right
crazy?
next to the
What are
little
those yellow, you know,
toy.
I said that first and I said, I'll remember that. It's so big.
Yeah.
What is
And
that
you know what?
yellow thing? Oh,
I
that's
was
a
thinking
caterpillar.
I was thinking about this, Mary, because you said there's a pen and a pencil. So that's a strategy for trying to remember, like if you were looking at this you might decide that you're going to say pen, pencil, scissors, and rubber band because they're all office supplies right off the bat. And then, and I'm just making this up as I go along here, but maybe you say, oh, there's a penny. A kid might have a penny, and so they might buy that little yellow caterpillar or the Hello Kitty squeeze toy, or maybe even that red puffy thing, right? And so making those connections help you remember the group rather than just, you know, trying to remember everything on the tray at once. So, but together you guys did a pretty good job. You know, you did great there. Another game is the Rebus puzzles. And I love Rebus puzzles. I'm going to share some with you, but I have it here, but I also have it on the screen. After I was printing it out, I was like, how can I make it big enough? I'm like, duh, share your screen. So those are fun. I love these. And sometimes they get pretty challenging trying to figure them out. So
Let's get close.
let's see. Okay, so we'll just take one at a time and I can make it a little bit bigger.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah. Okay, so
Man
it's big.
overboard.
Man overboard. What's this one?
Big baby.
Big baby. This one's a little harder because you got to look really close at it. And I don't have the answer to all of them, by the way. This one has a B, an E, an A, and an R inside of the W, O,
Bear in the woods.
D. Yes, Bear in the Woods. This one, I don't know if I figured it out. I think it's a similar one like that. I know what it is now. I just saw it. It's just because I was going, this one was going every other letter, but this one is just mixed up.
Dive in the pool.
Dive into the pool, yeah.
Oh,
This one's cute.
Too funny
two
for
funny
words.
4 words.
Yeah.
Big head.
Big head
Green grass.
and grass.
I can't see that. So
Oh,
Hill.
sorry. Let me see if I can move it over. Can you see it?
downhill.
Downhill. I don't know what this job one is.
Job in the box. Job in the square.
Oh, I know what it is. Inside job.
Oh, there you
Inside
go.
job.
Yeah.
Broken promises.
Broken
Yep.
promises. Long legs.
Long legs. Okay, let's see. This one. I got that one.
Little league.
Yep.
Yep.
How about this one?
Please.
Forward, please. Please forward, forward, please. Please.
Pretty please.
Pretty,
Pretty
please.
please.
Pretty please. I don't know about this one. Let's see.
Playing inside
Ah.
Yeah.
or playing
Oh.
outside the box. Playing outside.
But you're
the
playing
box.
in the box, playing
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 inside. Or playing
inside.
Down,
inside.
this is the
Yeah.
downside. I mean, like,
That's confusing because
that one is a confusing one because I don't think we figured it out.
Playing Google. You always Google, but Google gives you every answer.
That's cheating.
I can't get that. Playing in the box and then side. Playing inside the box. I don't know.
So it might be playing inside, outside. No.
But why is side going down?
Yeah.
The downside of playing inside. I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe. Who knows?
All right, we can skip that one. I like this one. This one took me a moment. Sorry, it's pink now.
Timber under knock, knock under, knock over timber.
I don't know. Knock on timber. I don't know.
Or knock over timber.
You're so close, Mary.
Knock on timber.
What is timber? Timber is what?
Knock on wood.
Yeah,
Knock on wood. There you go.
I don't know if I figured this one out. Let's see.
Lost in space.
Ah, that's it. I did figure it out last night. So, all right. So you get the idea. We didn't want to do a whole show on rebuses, but
I used to
But it
play
was
that all the
fun.
time.
I
love
love
that.
those. Those are one of my
Yeah.
favorite games to play. And then another one is chess. And so there is, which I didn't know, and I don't know the rules of chess. I haven't played chess in many, many years, probably not since I was a kid. So somebody taught me, or I taught myself, and I was never very good at it, but that is definitely a strategic game, and you can play online. You can play the computer, or you can play with somebody at your own level and play online. So I don't even know if I remember all of the names of all of the pieces. I know these are pawns, but yeah, that one
Queen,
got really
queen.
complicated. I just play chess. That one easy, jump, jump, jump. But yeah, so you can also find chess online, and probably checkers too. I don't know. But checkers is not quite as strategic, of course, right? Okay, what did I do with stop share? Okay. What else do I have in there? Brain yoga. So there's something called brain gym that I learned about when I was teaching, and it was something that we did with kids, and it was to stimulate both sides of your brain by doing opposite reactions and things like that. And I couldn't for the life of you tell you what it was right now. Maybe I'll look it up for next week and bring it back, but brain gym. And so you would do certain things with your arms and legs and bodies and stuff to kind of stimulate your brain. But this brain yoga I thought would be kind of interesting. It says, take your left hand and make a fist and extend your thumb. Then do the same with your right hand, only instead of your thumb, put your pinky out, right? Wait, I had two of them out. So you're pointing in the same direction, right? But one is your pinky, one's your thumb, and then they want you to switch it. It's hard to do. You seem good at it, Kathy. And then switch. See, I get too many things going at the same time.
Kind of like, what did they used to do when you were
Pat your
little?
belly and rub your
And
head.
Rub your head,
Yeah.
pat your head, rub your
Yeah.
belly, whatever. Yeah.
If you have arthritis, that might not be the best thing to be messing with your fingers, but it's like, yeah, I don't know if I can do it. Boom. And then boing. Yeah. If I'm looking at it, if I'm thinking about it, it doesn't want to happen. But if I'm looking at it, I can do it a little bit better. So brain yoga. All right. And then I looked at some different apps that have brain games to help train your brain and to extend your brain. Before I go to that, I'm just going to list off some of these other brain challenging games. So we talked about checkers, Chinese checkers, mahjong, and backgammon, dominoes, bingo, chess, Scrabble, crossword puzzles, Sudoku, jigsaw puzzles. We talked about word searches, and any kind of brain teasers, like those kind of puzzles and things. Those are all different ways to kind of boost your brain. And so then I looked at some different online things, and because they all seem to cost something, you can download the app for free, but if you want the full version, you have to pay a fee. And most of them have a monthly fee, and then they also have a yearly fee. So the monthly fee, I bought one for a monthly fee just because I wanted to see what it was like and see if I'm going to use it. And if I do, then maybe I will do it for a whole year. But there are several websites out there that will give you the they rate them and they tell you all about them. And I'm only going to talk about a few of them right here because I don't know that much. But Elevate is one of them. And the commercial says it's like taking your brain to the gym. And that's kind of what we want, right? It was Apple's app of the year in 2014, boosting productivity, earning power, and self-confidence. And it's $5 a month or $40 a year, that was probably the cheapest of the three that I looked at. Lumosity is $12 a month and $60 for a year. And that's the one that I tried. So they start out by giving you a quiz, and you take 3 different tests, and they kind of say, oh, this is where you're at. So it's kind of like leveling you and telling you, giving you a place to start. And what I liked about it was that it tells you how you rate compared to other people your age. And so like I figured if I was better than 50% of the people, I was doing pretty good. And one of them I was like 60, and then one of them I was like 90. I was like, whoa. So I was happy about that one. But they give you 3 different types of tests. The last one was you have to keep track of multiple things. So they have these trains. Their example is so simple, and you go, oh, I can do that. But then when you get into the game, because they train you first and they show you how to play, you get into the game, it's these trains that are multiple different colors. Each train is a different color, and so it has to go to a different station. And so the training session was just 3 stations and 3 trains, and they just come in and you just go like this and like this, like this. And there's like little, what do you call it on a train track? The switch.
It switches.
So you have to make the switches move in order to send the train to the right thing. And so it's really simple on that. When I opened it up, there were like 6 or 7 different train colors and different stations, and they had different paths to go. And so you have to determine like when you want it to turn, and then you're looking at the next one, but then you have to, sometimes it's multiple switches you have to turn to get the thing to go someplace. I was really tense afterwards.
That sounds too much like Mary's game, her card game for me.
It's the idea is simple, but it's just, you have to be watching the different trains and the different colors and knowing where they're going and keep switching. And I did okay at the beginning, but then they start coming a little bit faster. And but the games were fun, and I want to go back and play a few more games. And then there's like different sections on them, like so you can focus on math or language, or I forget what some of the other ones were. I didn't even see if anybody's following us on Facebook today. My apologies, people. Math, language, and then you can also play favorites, like put your favorites in a section, or play strengthen, which is you're playing your weakest games and trying to improve your scores. And then there's also a quick version where you can play really quickly, like 8 different games, fast versions of those. So, so far I've enjoyed it, but I didn't get a chance to play today because I was busy working my body and not my brain. Another one is called Peak, and they recommend brain training 3 days per week. And one great feature of Peak is that you can select the days you want to train and set a reminder, and it will, give you a notification of when it's time to work at your brain out. There is you have a personalized workout based on your baseline tests, and you're not limited to that. In the pro version, all games are available to play at any time. And this one is $5 a month or $35 a year. Actually, that was the cheapest one, not Elevate. So those two are more like each other. Lumosity is the bigger one. Oh, and then there's Fit Brains, and it sets it apart from other training apps because it also targets emotional intelligence through games that focus on social skills, social awareness, self-awareness, and self-control. And that one is $10 a month and $50 a year. And there are many, 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 many more of them. So I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time talking about every single one of them, because I'm not going to download them all to my phone. So you might want to take a little time to search for brain boosting apps, brain stimulation apps, and see what's out there. But I'm gonna try Lumosity, and I'll let you know how that's doing, how I'm doing with that one. So, but another thing to think about, one more thing that we have to think about in this life is to help our brains continue to function, right? Use it or lose it.
I take a test
What
every
they say.
morning.
Do you? What kind of test?
English, math, sentences, where's the period supposed to be? Is there what it's supposed to be there? A comma, a period, a colon mark?
What is that through? What are you using?
Yeah, well, I can't really see because it's on the phone, so that.
Oh, so
phone.
it's a brain boosting kind of app kind of thing. It's not one
Yeah,
of the
no, I
ones
don't
I've
pay
talked
the
about.
money, so I only get 3 tests
Right.
a day.
Right.
So every day I do these 3 tests, and sometimes I do very good, sometimes I don't. And it's spelling.
Yeah.
I do very good in math because math was my favorite subject.
Mhm.
So
You'll have to let us know what that app is.
Yeah.
yeah, well, I could look it up, but I'll be disappearing.
Put it in the comments on
Yeah.
Living Well and Wise once I stick it in there. So,
I can look it up right this second.
okay.
Oh, it's Elevate.
Ah, okay.
I
There
don't
you
pay
go.
for it, but
She doesn't even know what she's doing. Yeah.
I do it
Yeah. Well, that's good.
every morning
really
and
good.
or evening, depending, And I took it right before I started playing it, and I play backgammon every single night.
Mhm.
I play like 5 or 6 games, 1 round every night. So I love playing games.
I know.
And cards.
I know.
It
I
doesn't
end
take
up,
that long.
I play dumb games on my phone and I just sit there for a very long time. What are you doing? Paying me money?
Sold more.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Is that $1,000?
Just sold 200. They coming back.
Oh. We sold our lawnmower. Yay.
Sounds great.
That's a good thing.
Right?
Yeah, well, we pay for somebody to mow our lawn and the lawnmower is just sitting there all the time. So, yeah, so I forgot what I was saying. He interrupted me. But playing
We were
games.
talking
Playing
about
oh, I was talking about my phone. I play stupid little games that are probably not as mentally challenging as I need, but I play them while we're sitting around watching TV because I find it really hard just to sit and watch TV. I don't know why. I have to be doing something else. So I need to choose my game, but I can't do my mental stimulation games while I'm watching TV because then I will get low scores because I'm not focused. So those are the meaningless games that I'm just, I can play solitaire on there, but I always miss something because truly people say, excuse me, truly people say you can't multitask. We think we are, but we really can't because we don't do either thing, as well as we should. But Val, this has been a stimulating conversation with you ladies, and I feel like Einstein now. So we have a couple of ideas for next week. I forget what they are now. We shouldn't say that word forget anymore after a show about brains. But hopefully we won't be waiting till the last minute. We'll figure it out. I'm just distracted because my daughter's still here and she's staying probably another 2 weeks at least, which is a good thing. I'm happy for that.
Oh.
So anybody out there in Facebook land who's been watching or is watching on replay, thanks for joining us. And sorry if we didn't get to your questions. I never even opened it up today. But thanks for being here, Mary.
Thank you, Mary.
welcome.
Thank you,
Kathy
Linda.
will touch base during the week. And
Okay, have an awesome week. See
I
you
have to
next
go and
week.
move more dirt because I've been putting in garden and I need more dirt. Yeah.
I'm gonna make some cards.
All right.
Awesome.
All right. We'll see you later. See you next week.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us.
Have a great
Bye-bye.
week.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.